It's 6:15 a.m. on a chilly Wednesday, April 14th, 1943. The sun is just a faint gray promise over the steel-blue expanse of Lake Michigan, but Chicago is already roaring. If you close your eyes, you can smell the city's unique morning perfume, a heavy, thick scent of coal smoke from the locomotives, the metallic tang of the nearby stockyards, and the strangely sweet aroma of the Wrigley chewing gum factory drifting on the wind. My name is Rose. I'm 16, a junior at Hyde Park High, and in 1943 my world is measured in ration stamps and radio bulletins. I reach for the radio before I even rub the sleep from my eyes, twisting the heavy Bakelite knob of our Zenith, a radio actually built right here in Chicago. Every morning starts with the same silent prayer: please let the news be good. Please let my brother Tommy be safe somewhere in the Pacific. Getting ready is an exercise in creative desperation. Real silk and nylon have vanished, diverted to make parachutes for the boys overseas. So we improvise. I take a piece of burnt cork, literally charred over a candle, and use it to darken my eyebrows and line my eyes. Then comes the ritual we all dread, the liquid stockings. Since my legs are bare, I paint them with a tan-colored leg makeup that smells like wet chalk. I have to stand perfectly still, bracing myself against the sink, while my younger sister draws a straight black line down the back of my calves with an eyebrow pencil. It's meant to mimic the seam of a real stocking. If I smudge it, or if it rains on my way to the trolley, my dignity is gone. I pin my hair into tight victory rolls, a style that's become a patriotic badge of honor. It keeps my hair out of my face for my afternoon volunteer shifts and makes me feel like I'm standing tall for the war effort. Finally, I slide into my saddle shoes. I spend 10 minutes every single morning scrubbing them with a white cake polish. In Chicago, if your saddles aren't blindingly white, you're considered a flat tire, completely out of it. Breakfast is a quiet, hurried affair in our linoleum-tiled kitchen. My dad is already gone. He's been pulling 12-hour double shifts at the Southside Steel Mills since Pearl Harbor. The mills are screaming 24/7 now, turning out the massive steel plates needed for tanks and destroyers, and the soot on his collar never seems to wash out. On the table, Mom is meticulously counting our ration stamps from our leather-bound books. Red stamps for meat and butter, blue for canned peas and peaches. She warns me not to be heavy-handed with the butter on my toast because we used our last Brown Point coupons 2 days ago.
Here you go.
Everything is a trade-off. Our breakfast meat is victory sausage, mostly cereal filler and spice with very little actual pork, and the coffee is a bitter stretch of chicory. I grab my stack of textbooks, cinch them together with a worn leather strap because backpacks are for soldiers, not students, and head for the door. I make sure to grab the heavy bin of flattened tin cans. The school is having a scrap metal drive, and every ounce counts for the bullets our boys need. Before we head out into the busy streets of 1940 Chicago, I want to take a quick second to ask, what's the most surprising part of this morning routine to you? Was it the burnt cork eyebrows or the painted-on stockings? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this trip back in time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next historical day in the life. Your support helps us keep these stories alive. Walking to the trolley stop, I pass a dozen victory gardens squeezed into the tiny front yards of our block. Even the vacant lots between the brownstones are tilled and blooming with tomatoes, carrots, and beans. It's a citywide effort. Chicago actually produced more than 500 million pounds of vegetables in these gardens last year alone. I hop onto the red and cream Chicago Surface Lines trolley for a 7-cent fare. Car is swaying and packed to the brim with women in denim jumpsuits and brightly patterned bandanas. They're the Rosies of the Midway, heading to the Chrysler plant to build B-29 engines. The city feels grittier, more purposeful. Every telephone pole is plastered with posters. Loose lips sink ships, or can you drive a tank? Join the WWII. You can't turn a single corner without being reminded that our quiet lives are fueling a global machine. At Hyde Park High, the hallways are a sea of wool circle skirts, bobby socks, and oversized sloppy Joe sweaters. We try our best to act like normal teenagers. We gossip about the upcoming spring formal and who's going steady, a term that feels more serious when the boy might be drafted the day after graduation. My friend Shirley is buzzing because her brother is home on leave. She says he looks like a total dreamboat in his navy whites. But the laughter stops instantly when the air raid siren blares. It's just a drill, but the sound is a jagged reminder of reality. We all file out and kneel in the dim hallways, heads tucked between our knees, hands over our necks. We're taught that Chicago is target number one for Axis bombers because we are the industrial heart and the railroad hub of the entire nation. During my study hall, I don't open my algebra book. Instead, I pull out a ball of olive drab wool. Every girl in my class is knitting socks or mufflers for the Red Cross. It's a quiet, rhythmic labor, knit one, purl two, a small way to touch a world that feels thousands of miles away. After school, we beat a path to the Walgreens soda fountain on the corner. This is our sanctuary, the one place where the war feels like a distant radio play. We drop a nickel into the glowing, bubbling jukebox, and the brassy swing of Glenn Miller's In the Mood fills the room. We share a suicide, a tall glass of soda with a squirt of every single flavored syrup behind the counter: cherry, vanilla, lemon, and chocolate. It's a sugary, chaotic mess, but we love it. We might even sneak a little Lindy Hop dance in the narrow aisle between the chrome stools when the manager isn't looking. For 20 minutes, we aren't girls waiting for V-mail from the front. We're just kids. But reality always finds a way back in. Shirley pulls out a letter she got today from her boyfriend Joe, who's stationed somewhere in North Africa. Large rectangles are cut right out of the paper, the work of the military censors removing anything that might give away his position. We sit in a sudden, heavy silence, sipping our melting sodas and staring at those empty holes in the paper, wondering where in the world Joe is and if he's dreaming of Chicago too. Before I head home, I catch a matinee at the Tivoli Theater, where the marquee lights are dimmed to save energy. You don't just go to the movies for the feature film, you go for the movie tone news. Before the main movie starts, the screen flickers to life with grainy black and white footage of Allied bombers over Germany and the dusty, brutal reality of the front lines. It's the only way we can actually see the face of the war. The theater is pitch black, and in the row behind me, I can hear a woman sobbing quietly into a handkerchief, likely a mother or a wife who saw something in the footage that looked too much like a face she misses. When the movie finally ends, I walk home through a deepening twilight. Chicago is dimmed out. Under new civil defense rules, the streetlights are hooded and store signs are dark to save power and keep the city's silhouette hidden from the sky. The windy city feels ghost-like, a skeletal version of its former self. Dinner is a recurring character, meatloaf. Mom calls it extended meatloaf because it's mostly oats, onions, and a tiny bit of ground beef we saved our stamps for all week. We eat in the glow of a single lamp to save electricity. Now the house is finally quiet, save for the distant clatter of an L train passing a few blocks away. I sit at my small wooden desk and pull the heavy, dark blackout curtains tight across the window. Not a sliver of light can escape. I open my diary and the scratch of my fountain pen is the only sound in the room. April 14th, I write. The wind is howling off the lake today and the city feels tired. No letter from Tommy in the mail today, but I'll be at the post office the second they open tomorrow. I blow out the candle, the smell of burnt wax lingering in the dark. I look through a tiny crack in the curtain at the skyline, hushed and waiting in the shadows. We are all just waiting, for a letter, for a return, for the day when the lights of Chicago can stay on all night long and we can finally stop living our lives again. Thank you so much for spending this day in 1943 with me. History is made of these small, everyday moments, and it means a lot to share them with you. If you haven't already, please leave a comment. Did any of your relatives ever tell you stories about the war years or life in old Chicago? I'd love to read them. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and like this video to support the channel. It really helps us grow and bring more of these time travel experiences to life. Until next time, stay curious.